please understand, this is boxing.
Ooh, welcome to another exciting week of Against the Ropes. Myself, Gio Garcia. I'm here with Christian Rodriguez and Christian Mosqueda. What's up, guys?
Yeah, having a good time. Ready to talk about boxing.
Let's go.
All right, so we have a lot to talk about today, right?
Yeah.
You guys heard that clip at the beginning, right? Mr. Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, big announcement. I didn't expect it to come so soon. But yeah, big announcement with Canelo taking on Britain's Rocky Fielding.
What do you think, Christian?
I was shocked when I heard the announcement. I think you texted it, Chris.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised that he was going to fight December 15, but I was really surprised at who he chose. Because if you look at, like, from our first podcast, we had the idea that, it might be within, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, like,
In-house.
it might be David Lemieux.
Yeah.
And it was not nobody, like, outside looking in, like, some other opponent, right? But we were all locked in that it was going to be David Lemieux.
Yeah.
But, again, like...
Especially with Lemieux's big knockout win. And this is...
Yeah, and when I was thinking about last week's podcast regarding Heyman, we were talking about how Mayweather and Heyman look at low risk, high reward,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And and this is the same thing with Canelo right now. Low risk and high reward. And the high reward is what? Obviously, he's going to get paid with pay-per-view numbers. But also the other idea of high reward regarding getting another belt in a different division, right?
Yeah. And it's not a super dangerous fight. Like, if he were to take on Caitlin Smith, who is the true champion of that, that belt, he's taking on the regular title holder.
But I wasn't happy by this. No.
Oh, wow.
But it's crazy because, like, when he was moving up to 160 and he was going to fight Golovkin, people were like, man, is he ready for that division, right?
Yeah.
Against the most powerful puncher, Golovkin. And then on paper, he won that fight. And now he's moving up to 168. That was pretty crazy to me. That was shocking to me. And the fact that he's going to fight at Madison Square Garden, too.
Yeah, we talked about this. This was Golovkin's, first home in the U.S. He made it his own, and that's where he sold a lot of tickets before he came over to the West Coast. And so just got to wonder, is Canelo making a small move?
It's crazy because I thought he was actually going to move down from 160 and not stay there for a long time, but he's actually moving up.
Oh, yeah, that's very shocking. I mean, you think there are more names at 154?
Yeah. Christian doesn't seem too happy.
No, I'm not. I'm not, because if you look at Canelo's history, and I'm talking about like the past 3 years, right? Miguel Cotto, it was fought at 155.
Mm-hmm.
Amir Khan, the next fight was at 147. And then the next fight, Liam Smith, was at 154.
154, yeah.
Then the next fight was Chavez Jr. at 164. And then the next two fights, it was against Triple G at 160. And then you go at 168 the next fight. So I remember we were talking about, like, on the first podcast about whether or not, like, we don't know Canelo's weight class at all.
Yeah.
And you were telling me, well, that doesn't matter anymore. Like, any fighter can fight any other type of, like, pound per pound, like, weight division, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? If that's the new normal, then he's doing a hell of a good job. You remember that? I said that? But still, like, this is not... And I remember we were talking about, we should come up with topics about ways to, like, try to, like, change boxing.
Mm-hmm.
What's one that for sure I would want to bring up?
Yeah. The weight classes.
No catch weights, dude.
Yeah.
In the weight classes. And I'll bring up and I'll emphasize more on that. But, yeah, I don't like the fact that Canelo's going to be fighting at 168 against this man because, first of all, I don't even know who he is at all. Like, I was trying to look at his record, and I can't even find somebody that's
Randy
notable.
Orton?
No,
Out of nowhere?
No, this is not even Randy Orton. So when you told me the news that Canelo was going to fight Rocky, I was stunned.
Like, who's this guy?
I was stunned. It's like...
Is that his name?
Rocky Fielding.
Rocky Fielding, yeah.
Yeah.
I was stunned. It was like, you ever seen when Stone Cold is with Vince McMahon and they're like going to like embrace each other with beers, and Vince McMahon's like he takes it, right? and then out of nowhere he just gets Stone Cold Stunner. That's how I felt. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because like Canelo had my respect after the Triple G.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Now that I guess Canelo found my respect, and then last week we were talking about Canelo's gonna have a mandatory, and then that goes my respect goes out the window,
Yeah, with this fight, it kind of reminds me of a Cotto taking on a Daniel Gil. Cotto was 154, but he moved up to 160 against a contender. I mean, he was a contender, but he moved up in weight. But obviously, you see the skill set, the difference. And Cotto blasted him out. There's a reason why they put, fighters in the pound for pound rankings. They're just on a different level. And it doesn't matter if you go up, you're pretty much just fighting, I mean, a good fighter, but not really a challenge.
So that's the only problem you guys have with that fight?
I know,
the fact that the guy has a no-name?
It's because the thing is, there's one man that hasn't fought in that division that has actually won the biggest belts in that division, and he's fought back in June, and that's against Gilberto Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
That fight between Canelo at 168 would have been sick. But this goes back to what I said: low risk and high reward philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing with Canelo. I don't like that he approached this fight.
I'm proud of him.
I mean, it's a voluntary defense, so it should be easier. I understand that.
Hey man, that's what happens when you're a superstar.
But yeah, that makes sense.
You can do whatever
Canelo
you want.
can fight anybody. He'll still make money.
You know what's crazy though? He moved up to 168 before Triple G did.
Ooh.
Triple G never moved up.
Gio always
That was
with
interesting
the
to me.
points. Brings a good point.
I mean, that's true, but
I always saw Golovkin as a naturally bigger man.
yeah, but the thing is, we don't know what's Canelo's weight at all.
Yeah.
We know Triple G's weight,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, I am upset at Canelo, but at the end of the day, I'm upset at boxing in general, because this is what boxing allows people to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What if Triple G chases Canelo up to 168? Tries to fight him at that weight class.
That'd be interesting.
That's possible, right?
That's possible, yeah. He is getting older.
Especially
his
at
body
Golovkin's age.
Yeah. It's easier for him to, make weight with his advanced age. Yeah, it would show that he really wants Canelo. Really wants him, but at the same time, I mean, you're right, Gio. Canelo beat him to the weight class.
What is he gonna do? He fights this guy. He wins the belt. Well, he keeps it, or then he vacates it, or what?
I mean, I think there's.
What do you see happening?
Canelo?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Canelo nowadays, I don't think he cares too much about titles. I think just knowing that he's how many division?
Doesn't
champion?
matter, but I get the idea.
Just to know that you're a multiple division titleist. I can see him coming back to 160 though.
Oh yeah, because there's so many fighters at 160.
Mm-hmm.
There's Daniel Jacobs, David Lemieux, Charlo, Derevchenko, and the most notable fight that you could probably make in money is Triple G todavía. Still.
Yeah. And most likely he's gonna have to unless he vacates that 160, but I don't see him doing it. And he's gonna have to face his mandatories after fielding, and that is possibly gonna be Triple G or Charlo, whoever wins.
And the thing is, I don't think it would have been a good idea. We all wanted him to fight David Lemieux in December 15th, but I don't think it would have been a good idea after a war like that against Triple G. That's a lot of tear. Yeah. Your body needs to recuperate afterwards like that. So I understand why he ended up choosing that route, but man,
just a disappointment.
Just real quick, I just Googled
off.
Canelo, and the first thing that came up was Canelo Alvarez is interested in Floyd Mayweather rematch after Rocky Fielding battle. I don't even know if that's relevant, but I just want to tell you guys.
I mean,
just
having that title does entice Mayweather to come back to get another division. I mean, you don't think so, Chris?
That's never gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Think so?
That's high risk and high.
And Mayweather doesn't take too many high risks.
You can just do that.
He's better off fighting Pacquiao.
Just fight Pacquiao later on.
True. And at this stage of his career, Mayweather is over the belts.
But I just wanted to mention Canelo's last 10 fights. I'll do 11 because Austin Trout is in it, right? Austin Trout, Floyd Mayweather, Alfredo Angulo, Erislandy Lara, James Kirkland, Miguel Cotto, Amir Khan, Liam Smith, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Gennady Golovkin twice. And now he's gonna fight Rocky Fielding at 168.
I mean, yeah, you
Interesting names.
can't knock off.
Yeah, it's good
Canelo's
names.
resume.
But how?
Yeah.
How were the names like acquired leading up to Triple G, right? You even had a trainer, Virgil Hunter, after the Amir Khan fight, was like, you need to stop hiding behind the flag and fight Triple G.
Well, he fought him.
He did step up. I see this
And he
Rocky.
beat him.
I see this Rocky Fielding as a kind of like a Liam Smith fight. He's just a bigger guy,
Yeah.
but it's a very limited fighter.
How tall is this man?
I know nothing about him.
Rocky Fien. Oh, say okay. Canelo is 5'8",
Seemed like he was a
and
tall guy.
Who?
and Rocky
Yeah.
is where are you? Where are you? Doesn't say his height. Oh,
Well,
it's-
you can see how this would be a good look, like for the casual fans, right? Because be like, oh,
yeah.
shit, Canelo went up to 168 and knocked out this
This bigger guy.
bigger dude
That's the
and won
thing.
the title.
When you when the news came out, everybody was praising Canelo that moving up
Yeah.
weight.
You don't give him credit for that?
No.
Your respect for Canelo lasted 1 week, Chris.
Yeah. 1 week.
I mean, he's moving up. He's fighting a title list. It's not like he's fighting like a fringe contender. He is fighting a title.
Here's my thing. If he was going to do this was the outcome for December 15, man, take the December off. Enjoy the holidays and just fight in May and September.
Why, man? He's going to win a
I mean,
title at 168.
I mean, I guess he wants to get his voluntary. I mean, out of the way, because he does have to fight. You know,
During the time frame.
yeah, for
Mhm.
May, September for that mandatory.
So this guy's 6'1".
Tall guy.
So interesting.
Yeah, I don't see Canelo having too much trouble with them.
Hey, man, he's a big dude.
But it should be
Never know.
interesting because the Rocky Fielding is with Eddie Hearn.
Mm-hmm.
So
And we still have that question regarding whether or not it's going to be on ESPN or DAZN or
Mhm.
Showtime or even Facebook too.
Yeah.
So one thing that Oscar was so adamant this past week is that they're not going to do any co-promoting when they sign a TV deal. In this case, like for instance, Bob Arum trying to get Oscar De La Hoya to come to ESPN and try to promote Canelo both at the same time too.
Mhm.
Same thing with Eddie Hearn. Like just because you have my fighter fighting against your fighter doesn't mean that I'm going to be in your own network. You know,
Mhm.
we still have that issue going on. So my thing is, it'll be interesting what Golden Boy is going to be doing on that undercard.
Yeah.
Because they do have opponents that they could stack up that card. They could, again, stack it up with Mungai and David Lemieux.
Lemieux. Mhm.
And at the same time, too, it looks like December is going to be a good month.
Yeah.
You have Tyson Fury versus Wilder. The next week, you got Lomachenko versus Pedraza.
Mhm.
And then the following week on the 15th, you got this fight right here, Canelo. And I believe the following week, Joseph Parker is going to fight.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be December.
Yeah.
It's gonna be stacked. Yeah, I can't wait to see who they put in this.
Undercard.
Yeah. I mean the opponents for Munguia and for Lemieux. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have Lemieux there. You know. So that'd be interesting.
Chocolatito.
Chocolatito comeback.
Yeah, and just I guess a couple names that I recognize are Callum Smith.
I was
This
gonna
guy
say.
lost by technical knockout to him,
Mm-hmm.
and before that he beat Brian Vera by technical knockout.
Yeah, I mean he lost
And
to
so
Kalen
he's,
Smith.
what, 27-1.
Yeah, Kalen Smith is the guy that just won the world boxing, tournament. And he's the guy that knocked out George Groves. I would have been very impressed if Canelo would have taken on that guy, the actual champion. That would have been, my respects. But,
we'll
like you
see.
said, he is in the driver's seat. He does decide who he wants to fight, and you can't really knock him off based on his, who he's fought.
And
the
we don't know
past.
what network this is gonna be on, right?
Yeah.
Not
We don't know
yet.
yet. All right.
We
stay
did say
tuned.
that HBO might want to pick up Canelo's last fight.
Yeah.
Correct?
It has to be on regular HBO, I'm guessing.
No, it's going to be probably on pay-per-view
Oh.
for sure.
I mean, anything that's Canelo has to be
It has to be
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view.
That's gonna
Yeah.
be bad.
That's the only point.
That's the only point, yeah. That HBO would want to pick him up. All right. And you guys, any final thoughts?
No, I'm just disappointed.
He could have fought Billy Joe Saunders at 160,
Ooh.
but he has to move up.
Yeah.
Because what happened to Saunders?
what happened? What? Billy. So Billy got stripped. Oh no, he didn't get stripped. He
was about to be stripped.
He was about to be stripped, and he vacated the title
For the reason of what again?
for testing positive.
For illegal substances.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically speaking?
So, yeah, let me pull this up.
Cocaine. And didn't he get caught with something else too? No, he
Let's
got
see.
caught with PEDs, right?
Yeah, he got caught with a substance that I
Yeah.
guess your adrenaline goes really, like, high octane.
Yeah, I don't think he got caught with cocaine. That was the other video, right? That was just a little.
That was something
Yeah,
else,
that was
yeah.
something else.
But still,
That's not we're talking about Benavidez. Yeah.
Yeah, he got banned with the stimulant, oxylofrine, and so yeah, what I found odd is that the European doping kind of cleared him,
yeah.
right? And so that's kind of fishy. Okay, like home base is gonna clear you, but
Then America,
America is like, nah, that's not flying here. And
Where
so
was he supposed to fight?
which
in
one? This one?
Yeah.
In Boston.
Boston, Massachusetts,
Oh, shit.
Massachusetts. So it was the Massachusetts
Yeah, they don't play.
And it was
Yeah.
gonna be on what?
The zone.
The
the
zone.
zone.
Danza.
So against Bubu Andrade.
Is that the reason for all these cute little props?
Yeah, to me, I'm very disappointed in, because he's the one that contacted Wada to do this testing, to do to show that he's clean. And he did knock off Canelo. He told him like, oh, just because you're the son of boxing, you get a slap on the wrist. But he goes off and he does this, and so most likely he's gonna be suspended at least 6 months.
For sure.
At least
That
6
guy's a
months.
fool.
And honestly, I was very surprised with how he, took apart Lemieux. And so I'm like, okay, you may not like him as a person, as a character, but he can fight. So I was really looking forward to this fight because Bubu Andrade he's also no slouch.
Yeah,
can
it was
fight.
one of those fights that we wanted
Yeah.
so badly. Two, because we finally see Billy Joe Saunders fights a good quality. Not that I'm trying to knock off David
Yeah.
Lemieux. Because
But-
David Lemieux is really like one-dimensional.
One-dimensional, yeah. I was going to say, he's fighting a more versatile fighter.
But he's still dangerous though, Lemieux.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah,
that
he's
was
any given
dangerous fight
punch,
for
for
him.
sure,
That's
yeah.
a dangerous fight for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Canelo didn't took him. But Andrade, it was going to be kind of like my first time actually seeing him fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Eddie Hearn, I'm pretty sure he's pissed off.
Yeah.
Because he needs a fighter to fight it consistently,
On
like
his own,
per
yeah.
month, for that subscription to keep on
Mm-hmm.
being alive.
Yeah. So now they're replacing Billy Joe with Walter. I can't even say this guy's name. Kaltundonkawa for the vacant belt. And so I'm so excited at least to see Andrade, because he does have a lot of tools, and it's nice to actually see him.
Yeah, I'm
See him
still
fight.
going to watch the fight, but I'm not going to be happy to watch the fight just because I want to see Billy Joe Saunders fight and
Yeah.
That's the next weekend, right?
on
Yeah.
October 20.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's the thing. Billy has been in trouble. We saw that video that surfaced. We talked about in our last podcast. A win over Andrade would have like kind of at least erased
Yeah.
that from because you get a good win. That's what people remember, and so that would have helped him. And now he's probably gonna be out for 6 months. He probably won't fight until
In a while.
in a while, and so yeah, it's gonna hurt his stock.
That's cool. Enough on Billy, man. But you guys did mention the zone, right?
Yeah.
That fight is October 20th. But did you guys watch the fights last weekend?
Man, I was trying to watch it. I was not able to wake up on time, 4 a.m. to watch.
I was gonna stay up,
You know,
but I don't know.
I
I probably should have because
Right.
that fight didn't last very long.
Yeah. That's a good thing about having the zone. You can watch it on your own time. They have it there. And so we did see the fight. Did you see the fight, Chris?
I saw the fight right before this podcast.
Because it only lasted 1 minute.
1 minute.
Man, guys, I got to tell you, I'm so impressed with Inoue. He's like, and I mentioned to you guys, he's like the next Pacquiao. He's just so quick, so technically gifted. I was so impressed how, his first real punch was the one that ended it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was only 1 minute long, like you
Yeah.
guys said. But I hate those comparisons, though, just because he's an Asian fighter and he's quick and he has power. And the first thing they say is Pacquiao, right? But this guy's good.
Oh,
He has
he's
good
good.
power.
You
And I
know,
was impressed, man.
yeah, I was so impressed watching that knockout because when you were telling me, yeah, it was like his first punch.
Yeah.
You didn't
And-
believe it, huh?
I didn't believe it. But it reminded me like seeing a cheetah.
Yeah.
Like hunting its prey
Just
and just waiting and waiting, and you can see like the prey, like they're dead, they're screwed. Because I saw the other fighter, I was looking at his movement, he was backing away, backing away, and then O'Neal with a 1-2, like solid.
But
boom.
The patience, like it was like a whole minute of him just like timing him.
He was waiting for it. He did the same movement over and over.
Exactly.
And he
was
finally
just
got
timing it.
dude.
That's what I was noticing, right? Like when I was watching him.
Man.
Even though it's 1 minute, that tells a lot.
Oh yeah, that tells a lot. And I believe his opponent had never been stopped before.
Wow.
You know, he was a titleist.
And the way he went down, dude, he was
Oh.
out cold, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those top 10 knockouts towards the end of the year. Yeah.
In the previous opponent, he finished him off in the first round as well. So, you know, he hasn't really been tested. You know, it's gonna.
Who can he fight against at his weight class?
We talked about it earlier, Chris. Well, he might have to move up, but
yeah,
talking about Rigondeaux might be a good opponent.
He might have to move up. What weight class is he in right now?
He's in the bantamweight, so he went up. So with this win, he's now in the semifinals of the bantamweight World Boxing Super Series.
I mean, depends if Soren B-side wants to move up at 118 and fight him, or if he comes down and weight at 115.
That'd be sick.
That'd be a good fight.
That's a big.
That's a fight that will definitely propel one of these two up the pound for pound rankings, because we have
them there
in the top 10.
Yeah, we have them there,
and for good reason.
Yeah. I think I had Inoue like, you know, the 10 or 9th or something like that.
Yeah,
but
I have him right there.
I just hope he gets tested though, because that guy's a beast. What they call him, the monster?
The monster, yeah. He's an exciting fighter. Like now it's like, okay, I'm definitely not gonna if it's at 4 a.m. I'm definitely gonna stay up now, because
just wait until I wake up.
It might only last another minute.
And that was on Sunday, and then the day before on Saturday, we had a number of fighters fighting.
Yeah, so we had Vargas Delorme in the main event.
Yeah.
So I was able to see some of that fight, you know, going back and forth between another event that we'll talk about. But I was impressed with Delorme. He can fight. He's the B fighter. He's the guy you bringing in to make Vargas look good. But man, this guy came to fight, and it seemed like he had the better of Vargas. You know.
Yeah, I didn't watch the fight, but you guys told me that Vargas was actually down, and he scored a knockdown in the last round, right?
Yeah, he got excited. He tried to, finish him, and nope, he got caught, got dropped.
Is it worth watching? Should I watch the fight? No, not really.
Just watch
highlights.
Watch the highlights and then watch the last round. But
what do you guys think about Vargas?
I mean,
it's like a C-class fighter.
You know, it's so interesting.
That's like a B-.
When I was watching that fight, because I was actually watching it kind of consistently, there's a couple of things that bothered me. One, and we'll talk about how ways to improve boxing later on. I'm not sure if you noticed this, but they had a 30-second count.
Did they?
Yeah, every single round they'll give a 30-second warning, like that.
30 seconds?
30 seconds. And I'm like, I'm not used to this. And then you get that for 10 seconds. It's just kind of weird. Like, it threw me off. And I was trying to see if it threw off the fighters, but not really.
You didn't see more punches getting thrown in those last 30 seconds?
It's just so weird. I'm not used to that. I'm just used to listening to the 10 seconds.
I can see how it can help, though. If you're in those last 30 seconds and then you're trying to, steal the round, if it's a close round and, you got to step it up, then, try to throw a couple more punches in those last 30 seconds or whatever. Try to steal the round.
Yeah, so that was the first thing that kind of stood out. But the second thing was the hilarious thing part was the fact that I understand that Jesse Vargas was the main player in the card, but the commentators were hilarious because they were literally trying to push for Vargas to win. That Delorme is winning, but the commentators are just trying to push him, change the perception that Vargas is actually winning, but Delorme was actually clearly winning during the middle of rounds. But Delorme got caught, and that changed the whole tide of the fight. But then Vargas got way too
he got
caught up in the moment. He know it too. He was like, damn.
He was seeing his Bradley moment, and he got
wow.
He got caught. Yeah,
I gotta watch this last round.
Yeah. So we ended up getting the draw.
Yeah.
But Vargas hasn't had a big win, right?
Since what? Since Ali? Is that considered big?
Yeah, I would
guess.
say. I guess. He has notable losses for sure.
Yeah, you put money on him last fight.
Oh, did
Remember? That
Against
shit was intense.
Adrian
And
Broner.
It was a draw as well.
It was a
a
draw.
draw too.
Mhm.
That was the last
Adrian
fight, the
Broner.
Adrian Broner fight, huh? Or was it against Mikey Garcia?
Mikey Garcia was the last
We'll talk about him probably next week.
one. Yeah, with
Mikey Garcia. Funny you guys mention it. Mr. Knockout, right?
Mr. Knockout.
One thing we wanted to talk about was the top 3 knockouts that we've seen.
I guess I'll start, guys. Without a doubt, one of my favorite knockouts, happened in 2010. And it was by none other than the man that wanted to return to fight just, November. I'm kind of glad right now he's not coming back, because his knees are out. But without a doubt, Martinez versus Paul Williams, too, that second fight, that knockout, knockout of the year. It was just,
I have that in my list too.
man, you got that? Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, so that's that. Definitely my number
Unanimous
one.
on that.
Unanimous on that one.
But it was just crazy because that first fight was so difficult
Yeah.
for both. But I feel like especially for Martinez because he was a smaller guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was fighting the taller, longer guy who throws a lot
Oh, yeah.
of punches,
Lot of
right?
punches.
And it was just a very difficult fight. And they're both southpaws too.
Mm-hmm.
And Martinez lost, right?
The first fight.
Decision.
Yeah,
But
majority.
it was controversial.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people thought he won. A lot of people thought it was a draw. So they made the rematch happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was it? The second round or third?
Second round, I
Think
want to say.
I
Second
think it was
round.
second round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just one punch,
Perfect timing.
counter left hook.
Mhm.
Yeah, that knockout is really special for me because I used to watch boxing like a lot
Mhm.
back then because my uncles used to live in my house and
Mhm.
we'll watch cable. And
HBO
on pay-per-views, yeah.
specifically.
On pay-per-views. And that's how I got into boxing. But I wasn't watching like my uncles were.
Yeah.
And then I stopped. I think the last notable fight that I watched for sure, and I kind of stopped watching boxing after that was Oscar De La Hoya versus Floyd Mayweather.
Mhm.
After that, I kind of stopped watching boxing.
Yeah,
And
it died down for a little bit.
Yeah.
it died down after that.
Yeah.
I stopped watching boxing like really hard.
Mhm.
I just got caught up too much with the Lakers. And then I don't know. Just started watching this one guy named
Oh,
Sergio
yeah.
Martinez. I'm like,
I remember. Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, Sergio Martinez put that knockout, specifically speaking, but he put Argentina on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Because after that, a lot of Argentinian fighters started coming out,
Yeah,
like
Maidana,
Maidana, Lucas
Matisse.
Matisse.
And especially like there weren't really any Hispanic like middleweight champions
Oh, yeah.
like for a while that I could remember.
Mhm.
Like at that time, who were the big names like Kelly Pavlik,
Mhm.
Paul Williams, Bernard had moved up already.
Yeah.
Who else was
Margarito
around?
was like under them.
Right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at 160, there was like no Hispanic fighter.
Yeah.
So I think when he came out, a lot of people could relate to him, and a lot of people supported him just because like his background, the way he fought. You know, he was like a soccer player.
Mm-hmm.
And
Started
did a lot of cycling. You know, he was just like that good athlete
Yeah.
who just happened to start boxing like
Mm-hmm.
late, you know, like in his early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I sometimes when I try to hang out with people who don't watch boxing occasionally, and they want to like watch boxing, I usually
Show 'em that fight.
show them that fight.
Yeah.
And they try to get comfortable, you know, like, and then boom, like, wait, what? It just
Mhm.
ended? Like,
Yeah.
And you know, his style too. Like he
His style
didn't
was,
really
yeah.
fight like a boxer. Like he would put his
Yeah.
hands down, and he had good reflexes, and he was a good counter puncher, and he had the speed too.
Yeah.
And obviously, we saw the power, you know, against Paul Williams. And Paul
Man.
Williams he's like a big dude.
yeah.
no, yeah.
And in that first fight, he showed that he had a good chin too.
Mhm.
So to see him go down like that,
Like
it was
that.
it was
Yeah.
shocking, dude.
Like that.
And just the way his face like
his-
was on the floor, like, you know.
Mm-hmm. He out cold.
Yeah, no chance. And then
Yeah.
we also mentioned this in the previous podcast. You know, obviously he had a motorcycle accident,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then that ended his career. But it was looking like he was gonna get big fights.
Mhm.
He was supposed to fight Canelo next, I believe.
There was talks of him fighting Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, before
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, and there was talks that Mayweather ducked them. I mean, that's a
Yeah, I
that's a
think-
style that would have been super
Yeah.
difficult
I
for
think
Mayweather.
that's one of the guys he ducked because he hated fighting like the taller,
Rangy.
you know, yeah, like back in the day
Awkward.
too. He ducked Margarito too, And I remember that because I think it was when Sergio Martinez fought Margarito. I think they mentioned it during that broadcast. Margarito ended up knocking Martinez out. I think that was his first fight in the U.S. And that was a good learning lesson for Martinez. But I think I remember they mentioning that Margarito was supposed to fight Mayweather, and Mayweather was supposed to get like $8 million, like, which was a lot of money back then for him and for everybody especially. But he didn't take on that fight for whatever reason.
Yeah. Something memorable about that Martinez Paul Williams those matchup was just like the HBO like greatest hits. I don't know if you guys ever seen those, and that's the one that stands out, that knockout. But just like hearing the commentary of Jim Lampley and Max, you know, just that's that
Got you wet.
that's some of that commentary that's just like, it's gold. It's just, it makes that fight even, you know, because they just love the sport. And so
Yeah, I always love hearing when there's a big knockout. You know, Roy's just like, oh, that's all he says.
Well, it's
You just
funny
hear him in the
because
background.
if you watch that fight, the referee, and they were holding a lot. And he's like, oh, it's going to be a lot of holding, a lot of holding. He was like that. And then 5 seconds later, boom.
oh, man.
Yeah, that was a big knockout, man. And obviously, you can see that we all remember that one vividly, all right? So that one meant a lot to us. Like, we just spent like 5-10 minutes talking about it. And we could go on. I'm pretty sure we could go on all day talking about Sergio Martinez and the knockouts. But
I'll pass the ball to you, Joe. What's your favorite knockout? Another favorite knockout.
well, that was it for me, man. I'll pass it on to Chris. Hold on. I need time to think.
All right. Needs to process it.
That Diego Corrales.
Oh, man. That classic. That one was amazing.
I still
Corrales against Castillo?
Yeah. I always watch it probably once a week. I do.
You know what's crazy? I think I watched that fight maybe one time ever. Like, there are certain fights that I've watched over and over again.
Yeah.
But that one, for some reason, I watched Castillo against Mayweather like 4 times. I've watched the first Pacquiao Marquez a couple times. But that one, for some reason, I've never. Maybe I got to go back to that one.
Yeah, go back and see that.
Yeah.
Man, it was like one of those, like, it was that one round where, you know, it's the Chico Corrales, you know, he's got like hurt twice, and, you know, at any point in time he could have quit. He could have been like,
he was
that's
out,
it.
huh?
Yeah, he could have, you know, and there would have been no shame in him just like,
Right.
you know, just even after the second one, he could have just been like, I can't, you know, I can't, like, you know, and no shame, because like they both gave it their all.
Right.
And he could have, but he kept going, and then the ref let him keep going.
Right.
And it's like, it takes account, you know, the fighter's heart, the ref's experience, because the ref could have finished it too. And if he would have stopped, you know, ended the fight after that second, you know,
Yeah, that was very important, man, the ref. Because nowadays, especially, like, they'll stop it right away without giving the fighter even a chance. Like, a lot of refs don't even give the 10 count anymore.
Yeah, especially
like, as soon as they go down, they just
that late in the rounds, I think 11, and you get knocked down twice.
Yeah.
In this era of refereeing, easily would have been called off already.
Yeah, Corrales' corner would not have been mad either. They would have been like, you know what, we got to protect them.
Yeah. Like, I remember mentioning the Pacquiao Marquez, the first one, when we were talking about the HBO. Look it up on YouTube if you guys haven't looked that up. But that fight, Marquez got knocked down 3 times in the first round, right? Imagine if that would have happened now. I think they would have stopped the fight. Because he looked kind of done, man, in the first round. But he fought back, and the fight ended in a tie.
Yeah, that knockout, but that fight in general, right? For Corrales, the only reason why I watch is just like, just in general, don't quit. Don't quit.
Yeah, because that fight for Chico, rest in peace, like that's the type of fight that just gives you that satisfaction, like, for life. Like, you know what, like,
right,
you know, like, it's just, man, where everything just comes full circle, where you just kept getting up, and, you know, you found that ounce, that ounce of energy, that ounce of like will to just pull out this win. And man, props to Castillo too, because he brought the best out of him that night.
Yeah, I think Corrales is like one of those fighters like Gaddy, right?
Yeah.
Well, especially Gaddy. Like, he wasn't the most technical guy. He wasn't the most skilled. His defense wasn't very good, but just the heart that he showed. Like, dude, people are gonna remember that forever. Like, those fights with Ward.
Yeah, another knockout that I put. That's like for sure one of the top knockouts of all time was Marquez versus Pacquiao.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
I thought that Pacquiao died in the ring.
I think his wife did too.
No, yeah, his wife
I thought
did,
I thought he died in the ring.
Yeah. To me, I just thought he was like knocked out. But everybody else that
I
like,
thought he was dead.
yeah, everybody else that I saw the fight with, my mom's
Just
friend,
reminded
like,
me
everybody
why.
like he's dead. Like,
It
he's
reminded
dead.
me why
Yeah,
I
I
don't do
remember
boxing.
watching it.
No,
I was
it's not a
shocked
joke.
because
Yep.
Pacquiao was getting the better, of Marquez in that round.
Man, if you watch
think
that
he-
fight, that knockout happened in the last 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And I think that's when Marquez is most dangerous because he's a counterpuncher,
yeah.
dude. And Pacquiao's just fucking aggressive, but in that round, Pacquiao had him
They hurt him.
I think he hurt him. His nose was
Yeah,
bloody.
it was bleeding.
So it was looking like Pacquiao was just gonna start
Finish him.
Right.
running through him. Right? If it wasn't in that round, maybe the next two, but that shit just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, not out of nowhere, because I mean, Marcus like knocked
Yeah,
him
he
down
timed him well,
earlier.
but
Knocked him down earlier, kind of warned him.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Before that, you never really seen Pacquiao like really hurt. Before that big knockdown, the first one, that was a big one.
Yeah.
And
But
the
he
reason
kept fighting the same way.
that knockout is so incredible important in boxing because that knockout shook the world.
Oh yeah.
Because the world was watching that fight
Mm-hmm.
on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't think the Mexican people have ever been like as happy, in the Chavez Senior, moments. That was like a big moment in boxing.
Yeah,
and
and
such vindication for Marquez.
Yeah, justice for Marcus.
Yeah, and the thing was that, like in the previous fights, like you guys said, Pacquiao kept getting close decisions. So like, the casual fan would think, oh, well, this Mexican boxer can't beat Pacquiao. Like they just keep fighting over and over and over again, and it's always a good fight, but he can't seem to win.
Yeah.
And then this fucking knockout just, bam.
Yeah, and it was like, and it's after years and years where even Pacquiao got the nickname like the Mexican killer, where he was just beating
Right.
all the Mexican
Yeah.
contemporary greats. You
Yeah.
know, Morales, Barrera, even taking out the Golden Boy.
Oscar.
Who's supposed to
Oscar.
like be like, I'll take care of this.
The
this
big guy.
Yeah, but no, Pacquiao was, and then Marquez, finally doing it.
Yeah, that was obviously a big knockout. But I just remembered one. This knockout put me onto this guy like crazy, because after that knockout, I was like, I gotta watch every one of his fights. That was Triple G against Matthew Macklin,
Yeah.
I believe. He knocked him out with a body shot, and when he landed that body shot with the left, Macklin just went down.
Yeah, his whole
He was grimacing in pain. He reminded me of fucking Oscar De La Hoya against Hopkins. Right?
Hopkins.
He was just in big pain, and he knew it was over.
Yeah.
Like, there's no recovering from that. But I think that knockout was like a big sign, and it was like a big statement from Triple G, for the people who hadn't seen him fight before. It was like, all right, I'm the new guy at 160, all right? I'm the most feared guy at 160 now. And that was like the end of that Sergio Martinez era. So that's when like Triple G came and pretty much took over that division.
Yeah, no, that's when I really was like, man, this guy is the real deal. Because not even Martinez, was able to, handle Macklin as easily as Triple G did. Like,
I don't like
Macklin
the
had
comparisons, but yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, Macklin had no, like, it seemed like virtually no chance the way he did against,
And then
Martinez.
that's when you see his power. Dude. Like, it looked like a simple body shot, but dude was out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this knockout doesn't I'm just throwing it out there because it kind of demonstrates why you shouldn't be in the boxing game for this too long. Either you retire your own self or it's going to retire you.
Yeah.
So you brought it up.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that last week.
You brought it up right now. You're talking about a body shot of Oscar De La Hoya.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was that?
I was thinking of another one. I'll bring it up after.
Oscar De La Hoya going down because of Hopkins, right?
Oh, I know where this is going.
So Hopkins' last fight demonstrated why, and I mess around by showing that knockout, but I show that knockout just because that's what happens when you stay too long in the boxing ring.
He pushed him out, man.
He clearly did not push him out.
the ring. That was at the Forum, right? If I'm not mistaken.
That was at the Forum. Well, for sure. For Hopkins, he was on the Forum.
No, yeah.
Oh, he
That
was
was
outside the
brutal.
ring.
That was brutal.
That's what happens when you stay in the ring for too long.
Yeah. Now nobody can beat Father Time. And obviously, Hopkins, like, he was fighting well up until until he was like 50.
Yeah,
But
if he would have
yeah.
pulled that off, damn, it would have been
Yeah.
crazy. But yep, he learned his lesson, man.
That
It's
was-
crazy because I think we had that feeling like he was gonna learn that lesson like freaking since he was like 45, right?
Mhm.
But
Right.
somehow he kept winning and
Like
pulling off these victories, man. Even against Kovalev, right?
Yeah.
Kovalev couldn't finish him like that.
Yeah, that's the first. I mean, that's the first time he was really taking punishment with Kovalev, and that should have probably, told that should have been the sign that
Yeah.
you should step away now.
You know, another fighter, another knocker that reminds me that it's all the time is when, what's his name? Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm flashing my eyes right now. From HBO, the third commentator,
Roy Jones?
Roy Jones. Yeah, we had his hands behind his back.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
He went
Peekaboo.
like this.
Boom.
He just
That's
right.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's silly. Child's play stuff.
It's funny you mentioned about these guys who kept fighting on a little too long, right?
Yeah, he's one of them too.
He's still fighting. Yeah.
Still fighting.
But this knockout, I remember this guy got spun around, man.
Oh
I
yeah.
believe it was on HBO too.
Yeah.
I believe so.
I remember. I know which one you're talking about.
And he was fighting at a weight class that was a little high for him because he always fought at the lower divisions. He fought against Pacquiao. He fought against Barrera.
Mm-hmm.
He actually beat Pacquiao. I think he was the first one to beat him from the Mexican
Yeah.
fighters. Eric Morales.
Mm-hmm.
When he got knocked out by Danny Garcia,
That was so.
that was sad, man.
That
That
was
was
sad.
sad.
That's when you like.
Yeah, he should have not been in that ring.
I mean, that first fight he fought well, but you could already tell like.
Yeah, he just didn't
That's
have
all
the
he had
power.
left.
And
Mhm.
I mean, you're fighting a much younger guy with more power, and you're fighting at a division that you're not used to fighting in. It's not gonna end well.
Yeah. Like I was surprised that he fought very well against Danny and against
Yeah, he
Chino
didn't-
Maidana, but like
he
you
didn't
just
fight
know,
bad.
like like you said, you go up against a young guy with the left hook like that, you're gonna see the consequences. And yeah, and that one's so memorable, just the way he spun. Like he turned one way and then he went the other way.
Yeah, I think he was throwing
Man.
a punch, and he didn't even see the punch that landed on him coming.
Brutal. So I'm gonna tell you guys another knockout I thought was amazing and also cemented Pacquiao, and this is gonna go back to 2007, where he flattened out his British contemporary in the second round, Ricky Hatton. Man, that one just stays in your memory. The way Hatton was like laying down.
Ricky Hatton's in the Cocaine All Stars.
Like the only other
Shout out
person,
to Billy.
the only other like knockdown that makes me think of how he was out was maybe the Chocolatito knockout and the Amir Khan where he just flat out like. But
You know which one was big too? But everybody saw it coming. The Canelo against Khan.
oh yeah,
Oh, that shit was beautiful.
it was a good fight. You knew it was gonna end, but man, Amir, I'll box him a bit. First 3-4 rounds.
Yeah, big knockouts, and hopefully we see one in December. Hey, you all right, Chris? December, we had the Wilder Fury. Hopefully we see a big knockout too.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Would you be shocked if Fury's the one that knocks him out?
I wouldn't be shocked. This is the heavyweight
Really?
division. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
I was watching the Face Off today. Man, these guys are fucking hilarious. It's funny. It's entertaining to watch. I'll be tuning into that fight somehow.
Yeah.
So upcoming fights. We're gonna transition now. We got Crawford versus Benavidez. Chris, give me your thoughts on that fight.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight because I have him as one of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters.
Mhm.
But
Is this his
specifically
brother?
speaking,
This is the
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 brother
junior.
doesn't do
It hasn't
cocaine.
been caught yet.
It hasn't been caught yet. We're still. I gotta constantly refresh my Twitter just to see.
The jury's still out.
Yeah, the jury's still out on this guy. If he's part of the system too. Yeah, Terrence Crawford. He is fighting against Jose Benavidez, right?
Mhm.
That's him. I have not seen him fight Benavidez.
Mhm.
But I have Terrence Crawford at number 2, pound for pound fighter.
Damn.
Yeah,
Top 3 for sure.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, go to Ring Magazine. They have him at number 2, pound for pound fighter.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Remember, the
I
ring is
actually saw
biased.
Yeah, Canelo number 3, Triple G number 4. I have a problem with that. Yeah, but Terrence Crawford, like, he's in a weight division right now that has a lot of like, it's like the division
It's
that
loaded,
everybody
yeah.
wants to talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you think about it right now, so Terrence Crawford has the WBO from Jeff Horn, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the IBF, it's Errol Spence Jr. WBA is Manny Pacquiao, but they still have an asterisk under Keith Thurman. And then you have WBC, you have Sean Porter.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of fighters in that welterweight division, but what's so interesting about that division is that mostly all of them are run by Mr. Al Heyman.
Interesting. The ghost.
And we'll talk about that later on, but as we heard news that Manny Pacquiao is now signed with Mr. Al Heyman.
Ooh.
So now he
big.
has 4 of the top 5 welterweight.
That's a lot. He can do
And then
that.
you can add Lamont Peterson, Danny Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
What other welterweight we could talk about and throw him in right there?
So we have name one more time, Chris.
Errol Spence Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
Keith Thurman,
Mm-hmm.
Sean Porter,
Sean Porter,
Manny Pacquiao,
Danny Garcia.
Danny Garcia, Lamont Peterson,
Mm-hmm. You could potentially put in Mayweather,
yeah, Mayweather.
Adrian Broner.
He's a catchweight fighter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
But yeah, so for Terrence Crawford, he needs to prove why he's in the pound for pound.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, I'm not just saying like he needs to win, but he needs to knock out Benavidez like silly.
yeah. Because this is not in the, it's not in his level.
Yeah, because like, who is Terrence Crawford gonna fight after this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because Top Rank has nobody. Just from looking at this list right here, he's gonna have to shake hands with the other side, right?
He's gonna have to. There's no other way around it. Like, he has to.
Yeah, so I expect this fight to end probably like in the 4th round or 5th round. Terrence Crawford, he needs some legs on him to try to like keep up. Who was his last fight that he fought? Terrence Crawford. Can't even remember.
Was it Horn?
Horn. Yeah,
What? It's been that long?
I believe so.
Can you look that up? I have a hard time believing that. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was saying, right? That Terrence Crawford's not really cemented like at welterweight right now because
Yeah,
he hasn't
Jeff
really
Horn.
fought anybody.
Damn. When was that date? Can you?
That's June 2018 of this year. It seems like it was so long ago though, but it was June.
Wow. Oh, okay.
No, yeah, he definitely has to. Yeah, he has to work with Al, because like Al can just make Pac. We all talked about how the end game is to become a pay-per-view star, right? And how did Pacquiao become a pay-per-view star? He took the pay-per-view status from De La Hoya. So like you can see that Al's trying to, he's gonna try to build his top welterweights by using a Pacquiao, too, because Pacquiao's on his way out. He's 40. He's gonna be 40 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
And you know what? You know what's crazy? This is just me. I'm not trying to be a conspiracist or anything like that. But when Pacquiao lost to Jeff Horn, everybody saw that Pacquiao won that fight, right? And everybody was up and running because like, oh, Jeff Horn should have never won that fight. And then Teddy Atlas came out swinging outside the ring, like talking about, no, you didn't win that one fight. Like Manny Pacquiao won the fight. Man, now that I think about it,
I felt it was suspect. I felt it was very suspect.
you know why? Because there was already clear indication that Manny Pacquiao did not want to do anything with Mr. Terrence Crawford at all. Even Freddie Roach too. Like they didn't want no part with Terrence Crawford. So I could see why Bob Arum probably threw Manny Pacquiao over there in Australia, have Jeff Foreman win that fight. And if Manny Pacquiao doesn't want to give up the belt, you're gonna give up the belt against Jeff Foreman. And then afterwards, rob Manny Pacquiao, have Jeff Foreman get that belt like that.
and then try to
Yeah,
put Terrence in.
because
and Jeff
clearly
together.
maybe Bob Evans saw this coming,
Mhm.
that he was gonna be leaving already,
Mhm.
because or else he would have been leaving with the belt.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to, it's what's that, like, promoter always tries to squeeze out, whatever he can off the fighter, and then once he's, no good to him, he's gonna have to move on to the younger fighter.
Yeah, so Terrence Crawford,
That's-
he's gonna be fighting on ESPN this Saturday and ESPN Deportes. So it's not gonna be an ESPN Plus, so it's gonna be like available
Regular
for
ESPN.
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I am disappointed is that not many people know about this fight.
Yeah.
And like I think people are starting to realize the news about this fight just yesterday, because there was that big commotion when they were both at the training
the
camp,
gym.
yelling at each other, cussing at each other.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks because Terrence Crawford's a great guy, and he deserves more recognition, especially when you're at that welterweight division with all those guys fighting in that division. But it sucks because who's he gonna fight afterwards?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna have to make some deals with Al. I mean,
So
it's gonna be
that's this Saturday.
This Saturday,
ESPN
ESPN,
against Benavidez.
Benavidez,
All right.
So prediction, Chris said you say it doesn't go past what,
the fifth round.
the fifth round.
I've never seen the other guy fight, so I don't know. Might be a knockout. I don't know. I gotta do my homework.
Yeah, I say it doesn't go past the seven. I just Crawford's just a great finisher,
Yeah,
and we saw some of the footage of him being at the gym. He just looked like a killer. He was just
yeah,
talking so much smack, but like he's the type that he can talk and he can back it up.
He's always fought smaller guys though.
Mm-hmm.
who?
Crawford.
Yeah, especially when you think about
That's why
Gamboa.
that's why it's so interesting now that he's gonna start fighting like full time at 147. Like you said, who's he gonna fight next, right? Because at 147, I feel like guys are pretty big right now.
Yeah.
Errol Spence is
Spence
a
is
big
big.
147.
Yeah.
He should be probably be at
154.
154. Keith Thurman's a solid 147, right? Danny
Mhm.
Garcia's a solid 147, and you
Mhm.
even mentioned before that he might even move up right to 154. I think you guys mentioned it before.
Mm-hmm.
It was Porter's a big 147 too. So
Yeah, and we'll talk about this probably in the next segment, probably like a couple weeks later. But as far as like looking at prospects in boxing, on the undercard you have Tupac Shakur Stevenson
Mm-hmm.
against some unknown fighter. I don't know who, but it'll be nice to see him fight on the undercard. I like that guy.
yeah,
It's a
he's
cool
good,
fight.
man.
Just stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Stay away from AB.
Right. So other fights that are coming up, guys. How do you guys feel about the Khan and Kell Brook fight? Not liking it, Gio?
Yawn.
Chris?
You know, there's one word that I don't like to say. That's the B word, and then the other word is the M word. That's marinating.
Mm-hmm.
This is why marinating does. This is when marinating does not work.
So this is where marinating goes wrong.
Goes wrong.
They overcook the grits.
It's way too long. This fight should have happened like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
For sure 3 years ago
Mm-hmm.
when they were at their highest. And now it's like, and they're fighting sometime in 2019 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that their next fight is going to be each other.
Yeah, I remember it's crazy because at first when they first started talking about that fight, Khan was like the A side, right?
Yeah.
Now it feels like Khan needs that fight. to
Like, who's the
kinda,
A side,
Yeah.
right? Like, no, who's the A side between these two fighters? Like,
I feel like there's just two B sides now.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But before Kell Brook started losing, I feel like he was big time like the A side, right? And then Khan needed that fight to kind of try to get back into the top of the division. But now it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, they both made stupid decisions. First of all, Amir Khan, let me fight Canelo Alvarez. And then Kell Brook's like, hold my beer. And then he fought Triple G.
Oh my!
I mean, those are the two
Yeah.
fights. Like
It's true.
people were like not gonna knock him out if if they
very
took a
true,
loss.
man.
It was expected, but why do that when you guys could have fought each other and then fought them?
Yeah, they could. They
And-
should. If both of them were stupid, they should have.
Yeah.
If they're gonna fight Canelo and then Triple G, tag team. You know, they should have. They should have
A
just
handicap
like,
match,
yeah.
two
They should have
versus
said, "Hey, let's fight each other first before we make this next decision."
And they were still gonna make money fighting each other. So I don't know why. they
Meet
were-
us at SummerSlam handicap match.
Too much wrestling going on.
But yeah, so you guys are not fans at all.
I'm still gonna watch,
Mhm.
obviously, right?
But
But
be on the zone.
it should be
Yeah.
because they're both promoted by Eddie Hearn. and it's about time we're gonna watch that fight happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the pressure is gonna be all on Amir Khan.
Yeah.
All the pressure is gonna be on
Yeah.
Amir Khan.
I'm gonna see it. I see that, you know, it's still gonna be an exciting fight. Obviously, we would have wished we had it 2-3 years ago, but
Yeah.
you know, all Amir Khan fights are exciting.
So is it gonna happen?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, for
Sometime.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometime 2019.
Sometime
Alright.
2019.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned Khan being exciting because I feel like I have him like in my top 5 of most exciting boxers, dude.
Yeah.
Because all his fights are exciting
Mhm.
because on attack he's so quick
Right.
and he has pretty good power, and you know obviously the speed is there, the combinations.
Mhm.
But on defense, it's like anytime he gets touched, you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like, is he gonna go down?
Mhm.
Yeah, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the event that happened last weekend. You know, the Khabib McGregor fight, and we're just gonna talk about how big UFC has gotten mainstream wise and how it's taken a bit of attention off boxing. So,
Well, the thing that I got from that was that UFC needed that type of attention, right? Because Conor McGregor himself can't generate that type of attention.
Yeah.
I feel like Floyd Mayweather did them a huge favor, but even then, you know, that fight was not going to be what it is now. Like even we're talking about it now, right?
Mhm.
Because of the controversial stuff that happened after.
yeah.
But I feel like they need that attention.
Chris, your
They need
thoughts?
that buzz.
As far as UFC in general and that main event, kind of reminds me, like I mentioned this already before, regarding Manchester City and Manchester United.
Mhm.
Like we all saw Manchester City being overrun by these billionaires.
Yeah.
Like we all saw it coming. Like eventually they're gonna be great, and over time they're gonna probably not take over, but they'll have their time.
Mhm.
While the old regimen, right, Manchester United are gonna continue winning, find a way because they're old school, right?
Mhm.
But you know, we saw this coming. Like as far as like them finally taking out the popularity contest from boxing, but now
Mhm.
in UFC.
Yeah.
You know, UFC has a number of things going. One, it has a league in itself, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And you don't have a problem as far as like that fighter needs to fight that fighter. That's all right. It's gonna happen, right?
Mhm.
Conor McGregor versus Khabib, right?
Yeah.
Heck, I give kudos to Conor McGregor, even though he lost. But man,
He
this
sold the
guy,
fight.
he picked the top man in the
Top
whole
guy.
UFC league, man.
Yeah. To me, it's just like how he sold the fight. You know, I mean, obviously, like no one's gonna be, not everybody's gonna be a fan of like the stuff with the bus and all that, and like some of the trash talking. But he's a really good, you know, self promoter. He promotes his fights very well.
Honestly, I didn't even know they were fighting.
Oh, really?
I didn't know until I think the day before.
Yeah. To me, it's just like I seen a lot on social media, and you know, all my other friends were like watching it, and so that's to me the attention it got then, and then the attention it got like the day after.
Yeah.
Like even on soccer, like
Yeah, that's when I paid
podcasts.
attention to it. The brawl after the
Yeah.
fight itself. I don't know.
Yeah, this
And
is
I don't know
another
what
thing of like for boxing to get their bars up, dude.
Yeah. I mean, why is
Well-
UFC so popular? Is it because they have a show?
I don't think it's that
every-
popular.
You don't think
honestly.
so? I feel like it's
And I feel like it's
No.
not in direct
They're
competition.
popular,
with the-
dude.
I don't think it's in direct competition with boxing. I don't know why people keep saying that.
It's because boxing, like you have it consistently. You have pay per view one after another. And
UFC.
you- yeah,
Mhm.
and you don't have no problem with when fighters are not the M word, right? Marinating,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's gonna happen that fight. It's
Mhm.
not gonna take like 2 or 3 years. It's gonna eventually happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think UFC is in direct competition with boxing, like I said, because the sports are so different. Like I don't even think you can compare them. Like just see what happened to McGregor when he boxed. Like he didn't even know how to throw a power punch.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're so different, but people try to keep comparing them to each other and put them in competition. But they always do that
Yeah.
with
I mean,
everybody.
I
in
can see
every
both.
sport. They do that. They want to compare LeBron James to Jordan. They
Yeah.
want to compare.
I know.
Inoue to Pacquiao earlier. It's
Mhm.
like
I know what you mean, Gio, but I'm talking about like the market value.
Market value. There you go.
Like that's where UFC has the hand right now in
in
boxing.
the U.S. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only here. Cause they've been trying. Like UFC is so mainstream, dude. How long have they been on Fox?
Doesn't I mean it
Like-
hasn't been too long.
They've been trying forever to try to sell it to the public, but I don't think they can though.
The
I don't
fact
think
that
they
they're
can.
the fact that they're still doing it in Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that boxing finally is in mainstream TV, you know, it's like you have to at least like give them that.
Get some props.
Yeah, but let me tell you why they can't market it as a mainstream sport. Because how did De La Hoya get so big? Like, in attendance, you saw a lot of women there in the arena. You can't really market UFC to women, right? It's too brutal. Like,
No,
I don't see
what you mean.
I don't see any mother saying, when he's like, let's say 6, 7 years old, I'm gonna put my kid into mixed martial arts or UFC, right? But you see little kids boxing everywhere.
Yeah.
In every gym, dude.
Yeah.
You see little kids.
To me, like, just like I went to 2 bars over the weekend. I saw just as many women as I saw men at the bars. Like, women like into the fighting, into the UFC. So to me, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, obviously because of McGregor, you know, they go to see him. I understand that. So like,
But yeah, that's my opinion. I don't think you can market it to women and children. And also, I think boxing has, like, I don't think there's even a competition, because I think boxing has, like, at least 3 things that UFC doesn't have. I think money, the history, and the Mexican fans.
yeah.
I don't think UFC will ever be popular among Mexican fans, because obviously, like, soccer is number 1.
Yeah.
Probably boxing, baseball number 2. Right? UFC, I don't know.
Something I think that boxing is, and I feel like Al Haymon's going to be working, is just making it, you know, more mainstream, more consistent. Like, you see DAZN, they're having a show or an event every month. UFC does that. They have at least 1 pay-per-view every month.
Yeah.
I can see boxing doing that and just coming back to the mainstream. And, you know, you could take, I agree, Gio. Like, I see UFC and boxing kind of like Netflix and HBO. You know, they can, you know,
Yeah, because UFC is not taking away money from boxing. Boxing is not taking away money from UFC.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's nice that UFC is around,
Yeah.
because he just wakes up boxing like don't sleep.
Competition's
Don't
always
sleep.
good.
Exactly. Okay.
The way I see boxing is always going to be Nike, and everything else is going to be Adidas, Puma, Reebok, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I mean, it was an exciting event. Like, I think even Tyson's like, that riot was, you know, so crazy and crazier than mine.
Yeah. And there was a lot of boxers there, too.
Yeah.
That's how I saw the clip of it. I think Kovalev
I think.
put the clip up.
Yeah, and I messaged you guys like, oh, Lomachenko's like at that fight.
Yeah,
I
he
told
was
you guys
there
like,
too.
yeah, I was like, Lomachenko could take on all these guys.
You gotta be
Easy.
careful, man.
Be careful with.
Oh no, I'm just saying because he's coming off surgery.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's that.
Awesome. Any other thoughts, guys? Topics that you guys want to cover?
Did we go over the Pacquiao?
Yeah, the Manny Pacquiao news I think is really interesting because just talking about what happened in the last podcast with the history of Al Heyman, it's really important because, like, we all wanted Floyd Mayweather to fight Manny Pacquiao, and it's always a he said, she said, and went in, oh, Manny Pacquiao doesn't want to take the blood test, and Mayweather's like, oh, he doesn't want to take the fight. And now we get the fight. Nobody was happy with the result. I want my money back. And now you have Manny Pacquiao signing with Al Heyman, which is crazy because it kind of basically lines up for next year for Mayweather to fight Manny Pacquiao. Obviously, I'll tune in regardless of what happens, but it's just another power play for Al Heyman.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because Manny Pacquiao could have chose Eddie Hearn. You know, this past week I saw an article of Eddie Hearn talking about what 3 fighters is he going to be able to bring for Danza. And that was one of them. It was Manny Pacquiao, Triple G, and Canelo. He says, I know I'm going to get at least one of them, one of those 3.
Really?
Oh, now he's down to 2.
Like, you really think he's going to get one of those 2?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
He needs it badly though.
Yeah. Because if Canelo goes with, he signs with Al, most likely Triple G is gonna.
In fact, if I was Triple G, I'll sign with Danza.
The zone, yeah.
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
Because
you like him.
Because he's being sponsored.
yeah.
Because you like the ad.
No. Because then Triple G can try to win the belt against Andrade if he does win it this October. Get that leverage, get that juice up for that 3rd fight. And honestly, man, if I do see this 3rd fight coming up, I think Triple G is going to be hell of a motivated, dude. to get his fucking belts back, dude.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna really be motivated. I'm trying to claim what was mine's.
No, because like, Triple G believes he won that second fight.
Yeah.
He really does believe in in his heart that he did. Whether whether a lot of people believe so or not, like I feel like he does believe like he won, and he did say he's coming back, and it feels so hard, like being so used to winning, having those belts for that long, and then for the establishment to kind of take it away in a way.
Yeah.
Because it was a very close fight.
It was.
Especially the first one was, obviously his, and
right.
It was a draw. So I see him coming back, strong. I don't know if he'll win. Canelo looked too good, but it will. If that third fight does come to fruition sometime.
What happens if he wins the third fight?
Who, Triple G? Says a lot.
Yeah.
About Triple G's legacy.
No, but will we see a fourth?
Nah, retire.
Retire. I say retire.
He's gonna bust a Marquez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Just retire.
So, yeah, Manny Pacquiao signs with Al Heyman. So now it's up to Triple G to make his move.
Yeah, it was all rumors up until today. I think now it's like official.
Yeah.
That he signed.
It's really bizarre.
But that's why I think they're secretly like friends. That's why like Pacquiao and like Mayweather, like even judging from that video in Japan, it's like, come on, dude.
Everybody's secretly friends when you can make
trying to
millions
make
of money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some talk that they might use. Mayweather has clearly said that he wants a tune-up fight. So who knows who he's gonna fight? And then
we could probably fight Andre Berto again.
Oh, no.
Victor Ortiz.
Berto is
How many
is
times has Floyd Mayweather retired? This guy's like the biggest con man in boxing.
Man,
it's crazy. That shit's just a show. But hey, it's all right. Boxing needs it. That WWE shit. It's all right. I'm not mad at it.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys see Broner right now? It seems like he's a good self-promoter.
He's gonna fight Pacquiao, huh?
And
that shit's gonna happen.
That might happen. The thing with Broner, he's like one of those fighters that he knows how to self-promote himself. That even in defeat, he's still marketable, and he can still sell a fight. And so, if they put him with Mayweather or with Pacquiao, he's still gonna sell it. Do you like that idea, Chris?
I'll give you my opinion of Adrian Broner next week.
Ooh.
Because Adrian Broner is everything that's wrong with boxing.
But boxing needs people like him, in my opinion. They need that.
Boxing needs a bad guy.
Yeah, they need that.
You're gonna have to tune in next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next week we're gonna have a lot to talk about too. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of breaking news.
There's always breaking news in boxing.
We have the November 3rd show coming up, right?
Yep.
All-Star Boxing Promotions. Show. What's the venue? Do you remember?
So I believe it's gonna be in LA this time around. We'll make sure we'll link it up.
Yeah, we'll link you guys up with that. I want to talk about this guy doesn't like the attention, but Mr. Christian, what you do last Sunday? We see your medal here hanging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. It's funny because like I literally didn't tell people that I was actually doing this. So I was basically like incognito, really quiet about this.
Yeah,
like
crazy.
Like I was.
Yeah.
I was really quiet about this, but like I work Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Long Beach State, and then afterwards I go to the gym for like 2 or 2.5, 3 hours, and I come back home like at 9:30. So I've been doing nothing but cardio, working on core, foam rolling, stretching, like. Stop it. Nah, but it's been a hell of a past week, dude. Yeah, this like I was telling my coworker today.
Yeah.
Yesterday I ate 4 pieces of chicken and 4 Twinkies. That was dinner.
Well deserved.
And it's not that. The thing is, I could have kept on eating more, dude. Like right now, like I'm ready to eat right now.
Buffalo Wild Wings round 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to eat because I lost. They say that in the marathon you lose 2,600 calories.
Dang.
God damn.
That's how they make weight.
Yeah. That's the average.
What type of preparation did you do for it, man? I'm curious.
Yeah, dude. And this is something that I did observe. My body, I lost, and you guys know how thin I am. I lost like 7 pounds like the past 2 months.
Damn. So how many like miles did you run a week to prepare?
So like in a day, I'll run like Monday through Friday. I'll do probably like 8 to 10 miles in the indoor track.
Only?
Yeah. I'm telling
How
you.
much water did you drink during that marathon?
During that marathon, I don't know, honestly. The day before, I couldn't sleep at all. I was just so anxious. I couldn't sleep.
Damn. Was that you on that DAZN shirt out there? Right?
Nah, that was not me. But it's funny though, because I was wearing all black that day. I was wearing all black, and it was perfect. But it was just like being.
You went shopping, Nike Town.
So yeah, you
This
want
guy
to
ran into a Bronny.
Yeah,
LeBron James Jr.
LeBron James Jr. But that's another story. But nah, I did. As far as like the whole training thing, yeah, Monday to Friday, I was training like 2 or 3 hours afterwards. And I just focused on a lot of stretching, foam rolling.
Diet? Did you?
The diet wasn't there.
Oh.
Yeah, my diet was terrible. Honestly, the diet started being. I was really strict with my diet the past 2 weeks. I started laying off candy, hot Cheetos.
The last 2 weeks.
The last 2 weeks. Yeah, the last 2 weeks.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but it was crazy because like I was anxious, excited.
Can't remember the last time I had candy or hot Cheetos.
And my coworker, like on Thursday, was telling me, because she runs a lot of marathons, she was telling me like, oh, usually by the 18 and 20 mile, your body starts to like stop. Like it wants to like shut down.
My body will stop at 5 miles.
Just stop. And I'm thinking, I was talking to her, I'm like, you know what? I think my body has a good 18. And then I try to find something.
Remember you mentioned it last week too.
I told you that, right?
Yeah.
I said, I think my
and
body.
I'm like, he's like, I have like 18 miles in me. That last stretch, I had to find something in me. I'm like, that last stretch is fucking 8 miles, dude.
Yeah.
Real. Like, yeah, damn.
They're literally against the ropes.
So, like, yeah, this.
Fought off the
if
ropes,
you guys
man.
want, you want to hear the story? Here it is. So
we got the text messages, but
yeah. So literally, if you want to find out like how far 26 miles is basically like you're running from Dodger Stadium. Then you go to downtown LA, and then you go all the way to Santa Monica Pier. So like the stretch from the Long Beach Marathon is like you go to Shoreline Village at the Pike, you go to the Queen Mary area, and then you go back, you run by the beach, then you make a left there's like an indoor track basketball court somewhere by 2nd Street. Then you make a right, and then you get on Ocean, act like you're going to Marina Pacifica. Then you make a left on Clark, go down on Wilson, and go to Long Beach State. Dude, I was so pumped up going to Long Beach State because, that's where I did my undergrad and my master's. And as I'm approaching the pyramid, I see it after 10 and the pyramid.
What mile was this?
This was mile 17.
Oh, damn.
17.
Around that. Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, my body was good, dude, because I was like 5 minutes ahead, 5 or 10 minutes ahead, because there's groups of people. They have like a pose and it says 3:15, 3:30 mark, 3:45 mark, 4 hour mark. I was like 5 or 10 minutes ahead of the 3:15 minute people mark. As I was on my way to Long Beach, I was like, oh, I think I got this. Like I'm ahead of them. I feel like I could lay low a little bit. Oh my gosh! As soon as I make a right on Atherton and I go to the pyramid, my neck starts like you know how when you're looking straight at one thing, but you're not moving to your right or left. Yeah, I started feeling neck pain, stiffen up really badly, dude.
Oh man, that's scary.
Really bad. And then I'm not sure if you've been to Long Beach State, but there's like where you go upper campus, up the hill, that turnaround. Yeah. That's the biggest elevation from the whole marathon. Okay, it's 85 feet. So you're 85 feet going 18 miles already. And oh my gosh, dude, it was just.
You went through that bridge and went up?
No, you just go up. Okay. And I'm just like huffing. And on Thursday, I was actually walking it before the podcast. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, my body is going to be like this. And I'm already tired from work. And I'm like barely getting up, But my body stopped behind the library between 18 and a half miles. And I needed to walk. Because I was like, if I don't walk right now, I'm going to quit. Because my body was already thinking, I need to stop doing this. Like, what the fuck did I just got myself into? Like, all that training was just like for only 19 miles. Yeah. And so behind the library, I was just walking, and then I'm gonna start running because you go down lower campus behind Long Beach State because that's gonna kind of boost my energy.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as I got down, I went straight to the paramedics. I need some water. I just give me water. Yeah, and I just walk. So I walked from Anaheim and Palo Verde all the way to Bellflower and Atherton. That's how much I walked. And thankfully, I listened to my body. I'm like, let's walk and let's just run the next 6 miles. My coworker was waiting for me. She gave me a protein bar, bananas, water. I took all of it. I see a woman that has like a big bucket of Skittles. Grab the Skittles.
Like, need that candy.
Boom. Took it. And then as I'm running, like I just need more energy. I see people giving out ice cream. I'm eating ice cream as I'm running. I'm drinking water. I'm throwing water
like a buffet.
behind. Like
Sounds like fun.
I just
Sounds
needed
like a Tekashi 6ix9ine video.
I just needed a lot of calories, dude, because I was running on fuel.
Yeah.
But the thing what pissed me off is when I stop running towards the library, I see a lot of people like pass by me. Like it just, it drains you. It hurts. I'm like, man, this sucks, But after I hugged my coworker, grabbed all the food, and I just started running, like the last 6.2 miles, I started like passing by everybody, dude.
And
everybody.
Like passing each one gives you just more energy.
By Wilson. And the thing is, like the day before I created a 3-hour and 47-minute playlist.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking about it like, damn, I'm doing a marathon playlist, hour number 1, hour number 2, hour number 3. I'm like, I think we're good. And I think I should be done because my time originally, I think I was on track to finish it at 3:15 to 3:40. That's where that was the mark. Because during training I was at 1 hour. In 1 hour I was good for 8 miles. So that was my pace, like doing like hourly. And then like as I'm approaching, because there's 2 types of marathons: the half marathon and then the full marathon, and they both collide when you're in ocean in second. And once I see all these people from the half marathon, I was like, nah, fuck this. I'm not with those people. I'm with the full marathon people. And that's when I just got more speed, dude. And I just gave up and running. And then, like, I'm running. And then when you hit Alamitos and Shoreline, Alamitos and Ocean, that's where you make the left and you go down Shoreline Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, dude. That's when, like, you're there. You're finished line. And I started, like, crying, dude. Just started crying because it was, like all that, like, commitment the past 2 months, just like being incognito. My family didn't even know anything about this marathon. I didn't tell any single one of them at all.
Yeah, you didn't tell us till like a few weeks before.
Yeah,
after last podcast, that's when I found out.
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody about this. I'm just gonna like lay low and just be quiet about it. And as I'm through the finish line, I'll show you pictures. I was crying like going up to the finish line. Like it was so overwhelming. Like and the thing is, like, I did my undergrad and my master's, but this right here doesn't beat it. This right here, all time shit that I ever done in my life right here.
No, and that just, it makes me think about like the stuff like even just boxers go through, just when their body just tells them like, I have no more, but you still have to summon,
Yeah, I literally had to dig deep, dude. In the end, like it was deep. And
dude, if I have to drive 26 miles, I'm pissed. I'm too lazy to do that.
Yeah, so yeah, but I already know what to do next for the next one, so I'll be fine.
Damn,
so we have our
coming back, dude.
We have our cameraman Alexis in the building. Do you recommend him run a marathon?
Always, dude. I'm doing the LA marathon. That's on March.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'll start training camp for that in November.
This man is crazy.
Yeah.
He texted us after he finished.
Yeah,
and
man.
he was like, dude, I'm dying. Like my hamstrings are injured.
Pull muscles.
I'm like, dude, I just
blisters,
hope
next strain.
I hope you can make it to the podcast next Thursday, man. I was like, damn, I was worried about you.
Either Al Heyman was gonna kill me because what I reported, or the marathon was gonna kill me.
No, I put like I searched up Al Heyman and like our video came up. Like,
yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah, it's like in the top 3.
Edit this out.
Damn. Nah, but hopefully I can watch the Terrence Crawford fight because I'm celebrating. I'm going to San Francisco tomorrow. So my ass is taking an airplane after I'm done from work, and I'll be there over the weekend. I'll come back on Monday.
Yeah. So, Chris, I got to ask you, like, what did you learn about yourself after doing this marathon?
Yeah, I don't want to get emotional, but
that I was in the zone.
like you don't know yourself until you push yourself. That's what it is, dude. And I tell people, like, I always wanted to do a marathon. Always wanted to do a marathon, but I always had an excuse not to do it. And then this time I was like, all right, I'm ready. And it was funny was that because I used to work at the gym at Long Beach State, and my friends always saw me in the track. I'm like, damn, dude. Like,
I remember the sharpshooter, Brian.
Yeah.
When we went to school, he would always tell me, yeah, I always see Chris just running laps around the track. And then I would ask him, hey, what lap are you on? This guy would say, like, crazy number, like 72 or 80 something.
My number will always be, we
Damn.
always there. And yeah, so yesterday I was showing my friends like the medal, and my friend Chris, he was just stunned. He looks at the medal. He's like, damn, dude. Like, he's like, I will hug you. But this guy was sweaty, dude.
Oh,
like, I will hug you, but like, I'm sweaty. I'm like, man, fuck that, dude. It's just embrace.
Yeah.
But a lot of commitment, dude. And I'm just happy I was able to survive.
Can we get a close up of the medal, Gio?
All right, man. We'll make it happen.
Looks like it's heavy.
It is, dude.
Did you bite into it like the?
No, not yet. I'm not going to do that. I'm hungry, dude. I need some real food. Not no metal calories.
You gotta take the picture when you're biting it, bro.
Yeah, nah, man.
Hey, much respect, man.
Yeah, man.
You know,
thanks.
I was listening to a sports podcast. I think
Yeah.
it was a couple of weeks ago, and one guy was talking about, you know, most of the time when you play sports, like, you don't really push yourself to 100%. Even if you're just jogging or working out, like, you never really push it to 100%, right? Most of the time it's like 75, 80, 90 max, you know, but I think when you have like certain competition that pushes you to that next level, that's when you reach that 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that's
that's
where you reach the 100%, man.
Yeah, I messed up in the beginning because I was so caught up in the moment, dude. Like in the beginning, I was right there with the top racers for like an hour, dude.
Shit.
And it was crazy is that you're pitch black when you're running at 6 a.m. It's completely dark under the tunnels, under the streets, under the freeways in the Queen Mary. It's pitch black. And I just got caught up in the moment. I should have paced myself. And I would have been on track to do 3:30 or 3:15. Yeah. But yeah, I know what to do next time.
Yeah.
Hey, man, but we're proud of you.
We're proud of you. I mean, there's a reason why we call you Viper, Chris.
Stupid.
We're gonna be there in person when you run your marathon in LA.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Hopefully, I'm alive by then.
Jill will have the ice cream, will have the cookie, and
Skittles.
Alexis will have the Skittles and the candy.
Yeah.
We'll have someone film it. It's gonna look like a Tekashi 6ix9ine video. It's gonna be amazing, man.
Yeah, you guys are
No,
silly.
that's dope, man.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Other than that, I just wanted to bring this up real quickly just because NBA season's starting. We're not gonna spend too much time on it, but how far did the Lakers make it? I know you said this last week. I want to see if you double down on this.
Oh no, I'm not gonna double down on this.
We have our camera guy, Alexis, saying that they're not making the playoffs. What?
We're all Laker fans here, right?
Yeah.
Christian, you're the more casual basketball
more
fan
casual.
here. How far do the Lakers make it?
I say they make the playoffs, but they only make it, first round. I don't think they're yet.
What about you?
You go, Gio.
I said first round exit because I think they're gonna play the Rockets or Warriors in the first round. But I'm cool with that. Like I said, we're all Laker fans here, but I think next season
For sure, it's gonna be an exciting season, and that's
yeah, it's
like
gonna be interesting to watch them play
Yeah.
because I was watching the preseason game yesterday against the Warriors and dude, just the different personalities that they have, dude. Like coming off the bench, Lance Stevenson, fucking Michael Beasley, Rondo or Lonzo, depending who starts. And then you have fucking JaVale McGee starting. Like, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, so I got the Lakers for sure, obviously making the playoffs, but yeah, take it more further than that. They're going to go to the Western Conference Finals, dude.
Damn! Heard it here first.
Bam, he doubled down.
I didn't.
After that marathon talk, he's like, fuck this, dude.
Nah, they're going to go to the Western Conference Finals. I don't, obviously, if the
So they're going to make it through Rockets or Warriors.
No,
right?
This is what you got to understand. If the Lakers...
They got to get that.
Yeah.
That everything has to align.
That's why you have to align. So yeah, there's preconditions
But
to my
even then,
Western
dude,
Conference Finals.
Even then, you have the Spurs, which are still going to be in the mix. OKC is going to be in the mix. Utah is probably going to be in the mix. Who else? I don't know, but Lakers, I don't know, dude. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
It's gonna
But
be
I have
fun.
the Lakers probably like if they could get the 3rd seed, that'll be good. And I'm thinking I'm aiming
If
high.
they
but
get the 3rd seed, LeBron is gonna win MVP,
well,
dog.
yeah,
I'll tell you that
he has
much.
MVP numbers already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I see the Lakers at. Okay, I've been watching basketball since '96, and I've been a Laker fan since then. But like, I have watched LeBron James. Never actually like got sold into him because I was always in that Kobe era.
Yeah.
Same here.
So when I was at the Nike Town like 2 Saturdays ago picking up the shoes, I'm like,
Picking up the fit.
I'm looking at the Laker jerseys. I'm like, man, LeBron James, like it's not dwelling on me. It feels weird,
It
you know.
feels like Photoshop we talked about.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, I look to my left. I'm like, what? And it's LeBron James' like son. Like, and that's when it started to hit me like,
Bronny.
this guy's the father of one of the greatest players of all time. Like, he's up there, arguably, right? Yeah, I think LeBron, with the young players that they have, Brandon Ingram, Alonzo Ball, who else? Kuzma.
Kuzma's the man.
Yeah, Lakers have young players, man.
Yeah, but you got to understand in the Western Conference, they're going to have to win like 50 games to get a good seed. More than 50 games, probably like 55 games to get a good seeding.
Yeah, you'll be surprised what happens. Yeah, they can't. Yeah, they'll be there. They're gonna make noise.
It's a good mix.
And the
It's a
thing
good
is,
mix.
It's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
I'm going to tune in this season. Last season was kind of like whatever.
yeah.
But
One thing about it, you gotta understand, you cannot bring up with what happened last year in the playoffs because if you look at every single year in the
there's
playoffs,
different teams.
there's always teams that for sure they're gonna be there. Nope, they're not there. Like so, obviously you gotta take away teams. It always happens.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm banking on that a little bit.
Yeah. I just feel we put in the time during the Kwame Brown years, and now we're finally gonna have a fun season. So it's gonna be fun. A lot of Buffalo Wild Wing nights, guys.
Yeah. After the podcast, hopefully they have a lot of Thursday games.
Yeah, I need my calories. Seriously, I'm not lying.
Yeah. But anything else you guys want to mention before? Like we said, November 3rd, All-Star Boxing
All-Star
Promotions.
Boxing.
We're going to be doing the commentating for that show. Follow us on Instagram, at Against the Ropes.
Against the Ropes.
Probably put some clips up on YouTube as well.
Subscribe.
Yeah, do all that shit. I'm surprised Chris is not like, subscribe to the DAZN,
For
free
real.
trial,
No,
this and that.
I mean, there's the zone marketing going on over here.
Chris got royalties.
Free trial. Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, it seems like an interesting
First
app,
one
man,
is
if
free.
you're a boxing fan. If you're a boxing fan, it seems like an interesting app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be checking it out.
Yeah, and you're borrowing my account, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if next one is still going on. That means
You're gonna renew that?
That means I'm
That
renewing
means,
it.
that means the
Okay.
zone's cutting the check for this guy. That's why
Yeah.
he's bringing up all that.
Probably.
Yeah, but besides that, I think we covered everything, guys. It's a good week. Week
Good
4,
week.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Week 4 of this podcast. Next week, like I said, I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of other breaking news, and we'll have other exciting shit to talk about. NBA season gonna start next week, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so probably throw some NBA in here. But yeah, Crawford, Benavidez, all that stuff, man.
Hopefully we have some network news between Triple G and Canelo. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, stay